"What brings you to Puerto Rico?" the flight attendant asked 14-year-old Henry Alden. "Are you visiting family?" Henry's little brother Benny was following him up the aisle of the airplane.
"We're searching for sea monsters,"
he said. The flight attendant chuckled. "Is that so?" she asked.
"We really are,"
said Benny. He held up a toy shark and a toy alligator and pretended they were chasing each other.
"It's kind of a long story," Henry explained. "We're visiting a friend of our grandfather."
"Well, this works out perfectly," the flight attendant said. She stopped at a row where a young girl was sitting. The girl's hair was tied in purple ribbons, and she had a purple stuffed animal on her lap. "This is Catherine. She's visiting family too, and she's 10, just like you, Violet. We've arranged to seat you all together for the flight."
"Hi," said Violet. "I like your outfit. Purple is my favorite color."
Violet turned to Jessie, who was 12.
"I'll give up my turn to sit by the window and sit by Catherine instead. Benny, you can have the window seat."
"Yay!"
Benny cheered.
"Maybe I'll spot a shipwreck or a giant sea monster."
Before long, the plane was in the air, and Catherine turned to Violet.
"Is it true what your brother said? Are you really going to look for sea monsters?"
"Benny can be a little bit dramatic," Violet said. She looked over at her 6-year-old brother. He had taken out a plastic octopus and was making sound effects with his cheeks as it swam through the air.
"We're helping our grandfather's friend," Violet said. "She's doing a television show for kids. It's about legendary creatures. We're helping her investigate." "Wow, that sounds amazing," said Catherine. "What kinds of legendary creatures?"
Benny leaned around Violet.
"First, we learned about Bigfoots in Colorado. Then in Iceland, we looked for elves and trolls. And now, sea monsters."
"We don't know exactly what we'll be looking for at this stop," said Violet. "Just that it has to do with the water." "Does your grandfather live in Puerto Rico?" Jessie asked Catherine. "No, but he's writing a book that takes place there. He rented a big boat, and we're going to stay on it while he does research."
"You get to sleep on a boat?"
Benny asked.
"I hope we can do that."
Henry spoke up from across the aisle.
"What kind of books does your grandfather write?"
"Exciting ones," Catherine answered. "Except they're for grown-ups, so I haven't read them. Are you going to learn about Luskas, too? My grandfather is putting one of those in his book."
"What's that?"
Benny asked. Catherine shuddered.
"Oh, they're terrible sea monsters that come up out of the water and wrap their tentacles around you."
She hugged her stuffed animal close. Benny's eyes grew wider.
"Really?"
Catherine nodded.
"Some of them are so big, their tentacles can wrap around boats and sink them. I wish I had some paper. I could draw you a picture."
Violet took out a notepad and a pencil case and handed them to Catherine.
"I've heard of the Luska before," Henry said. "It's another legendary creature, Benny."
"Luskas aren't just a legend," Catherine said as she started to draw. "I've read about them on the internet."
The girl drew a creature that had a shark's head and a body like an octopus with too many tentacles.
"There are lots of websites about it." "Some things on the internet aren't true," said Jessie. "You check them out. You'll see."
Catherine added in some sharp teeth to the creature's mouth. She held up the drawing.
"Isn't it scary?"
Benny looked at Catherine's picture. He didn't mind sharks and octopuses, but he didn't like the thought of both of them together.
"Maybe I don't want to stay on a boat after all," he said. "I hope that's not what we're looking for."
"I don't like them either," Violet said, "but it's a good drawing. Do you want to draw mermaids with me? That's one legendary creature I want to learn more about." "Sure," Catherine said. "I'm better at drawing manatees, though." She held up her stuffed animal. "This is Winston. I draw him all the time."
Violet noticed Winston had a polka dot tail.
"Do real manatees have polka dots on them?" she asked.
Catherine giggled.
"No, a friend made Winston for me. Real manatees aren't purple either. They're gray. But I wanted to see what a purple manatee with a polka dot tail would look like."
Then Catherine got a little shy.
"I know it's silly, but I like it."
Violet smiled.
"I like it too."
Violet and Catherine talked and drew for the rest of the trip. Henry and Jessie read, and Benny went back to playing with his sea animals.